You're watching SuckProfessor. Hello, everybody. It's me. I'm Hank. I'm joined by our resident Destiny professional expert,
James.
James. I know it makes you uncomfortable.
Wouldn't quite put it that way.
I know. I like to make you uncomfortable, though. But you do play a lot of Destiny, and you do know your way around this game. Big news. The community is upset. The weapons are being changed.
Yep. In a big way.
In some big ways and some not so big ways. And so this is a breakdown of all the different ways it's going on. A little bit of what of the reactions is happening and some analysis about what it means for players and whether or not this is worth crapping your pants over.
Right. It's not completely clear when this is going to happen, but people are speculating that this is going to go live with the Taken King in September.
In September of 2015?
Yes, 2015.
Okay. All right, because here we are in July, middle to mid-late July. Okay, Destiny logo, there's a Trevor. Let's keep it moving. Bungie. This is what's going to happen, James? Are they going to successfully Bungie? Or will they fall and die into the land and turn into a disappearing chalk corpse? All right. That's just our bullshit Photoshop skills, guys. That's what makes us famous.
It took us 4 hours.
Yes. That and 2 fist fights.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quit screwing around. Let's get to it. Auto rifles. What are they doing?
All right. So.
By the way, before you jump in, we're gonna do basic weapons, and then at the end we'll do exotic specifics. Okay. Auto rifles.
All right. So if anyone's been around since day one, they remember the vanilla version of Destiny. Auto rifles were king. If you didn't have an auto rifle, you didn't know what you were doing.
That's right.
They covered long range, short range, medium range. They were the go-to, be-all, end-all of weapons.
They were the microwave of weapons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some fan favorites at the time was the Grim Citizen 3, the Shadow Price. You know, they were chainsaws that just chewed through every single thing you could encounter.
Okay.
Apparently, Bungie didn't like that.
Okay.
They didn't like that they were great in PvE, they were great in PvP, they were really the only choice. So they figured, okay, the community's using this too much, we're going to nerf them by doing a damage fall off and by decreasing the base damage to it. So auto rifles went from being the main thing everyone used to being something that was collecting dust in people's vaults. People dismantled them, got rid of them, said I'm never going to use an auto rifle again. They just couldn't compete after that.
Forcing people to use the other weapons, which was probably what they noticed was happening.
They were doing detailed stats saying, you know, every single time we see a fight, this percentage of people are using auto rifles, this percentage aren't. You know, they were watching it closely, as they still are.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is they're going to bring auto rifles back by increasing the base damage, and they're going to work on the damage fall off.
Okay.
So they want to make sure that this stays as a close to medium range weapon, so you're still not shooting across the map and doing optimal damage.
So the closer to you, the sooner it will start not causing damage.
Right, because the other guns that are designed for longer range, you've got your scout rifles, you've got your sniper rifles. They don't want this to be a jack of all trades like it used to be. They want to bring it back, make more people use it, but they don't want to make it overly powerful like it was in the beginning of the game.
I see. So hopefully they accomplish that. Boost damage by 10% against AI combatants. Alright, whatever.
I mean, 10%, that's pretty major.
Oh, that is major.
Yeah, that's significant. That's going to make people start using it again.
Okay, so notes?
Yep, it's coming back.
Exactly what you just said. All right, next one. Pulse rifles.
Alright, pulse rifles in the beginning of the game were a joke. No one wanted to use them. They were completely pointless. They didn't do enough damage to compete with an auto rifle. But then once they changed the auto rifles, pulse rifles pretty much became king. You started seeing a lot more people using the Red Death, which
was the Suros regime?
The Suros regime was pretty much one of the best PvP rifles for the auto rifle category.
Okay.
The Red Death is a pulse rifle exotic that kind of replaced the Suros when the pulse rifles got their buff.
Okay.
So for this one, most people, I mean, a lot of people are using, you know, or starting to use pulse rifles in PvP more. You're starting to see more pulse rifles become prevalent in PvE, mainly the Messenger, which is the gun you can get from the Trials of Osiris. So for PvE, you're seeing a lot of adept messengers. For PvP, you see a lot of adept and kinetic messengers.
I was just going to say that.
I know, it just, you know, it's so common sense, you know.
All right, so reducing base damage, PvP bursts to kill, all precision hits is 2 or 3 depending on victim's armor stat. Small reduction in base stability, a burst should still land all shot at optimal range.
I don't see these as being big deals. I mean, the one that jumps out to me is the increased magazine size for all base inventories. That's beneficial across the line. I think it seems like they're fairly happy with where pulse rifles are right now, and I don't see there being a huge, you know, fall off.
Okay, so, not changing much, not a big deal.
Yeah,
but
I think they're still going to be a solid choice.
A style choice for players that like them.
I don't think they're going to fall off the radar the way auto rifles did when they got their debuff.
Speaking of rifles, scout rifles.
Scout rifles, this particular one is kind of interesting because this is kind of right around the place where they already need to be. I don't think a lot's going to change on these either, aside from an overall buff.
Okay.
So you've got increased base damage from medium to high range, rate of fire, scout rifles. I'm not complaining about that. That's great.
More
PvP,
is better.
not a lot of people use scout rifles in PvP. I've seen some Mida multi-tools, but it's typically not considered to be a top tier PvP weapon.
What does TTK mean here?
Time to kill.
Oh, I see.
So, increased magazine size, I'm all for that. That's awesome.
Okay.
Reduce final accuracy when firing from the hip. If you are using a scout rifle and you're firing from the hip, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No one does that.
You're either taking too much medicine or not enough.
That's like saying I'm making this blender better by making it blend better when your hand's inside of it.
Yeah.
No one does that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're even bothering with it.
Right. Final accuracy, is that the final round? You get
no, that's different.
Oh, okay. All right.
So fast firing outside of ADS would be less accurate. Do you know what ADS stands for?
No.
Aiming down sights.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
that's different than TTK.
Yeah, TTK is
Oh,
time to
yeah.
kill.
Sorry, firing from hip is the opposite of ADS.
Exactly.
Those are the two firing modes.
You got it.
Gotcha,
Yep.
okay.
And boost damage by 5% against AI combatants. You know what AI stands for?
Yes. Stands for Haley Joel Osment's best work. All right, so
You got it.
overall, a buff.
Yeah, but is it going to make it the prevalent choice in PvP? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is it going to make it show up a little bit more in PvE? Probably.
It's like doing 15 push-ups.
Yeah.
You know, you're not really making much of a difference, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, if you want your long range option, Scout it's a good bet.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to spell buff real fast, and then we'll move on. Okay, hand cannons. This is the big one.
The hot button topic, I
All right,
think.
give it to me, James.
All right, so hand cannons. In PvE, there's only one word you need to know, and that's Fatebringer.
Uh-huh.
That gun
Preach.
is the most versatile, best gun you can possibly get for any sort of thing you're thrown into aside from a solar or a void burn.
Okay.
It's got Outlaw, which makes it reload super fast after a precision kill. It's got arc damage. It's got a decent magazine size. It's got Firefly. It's got explosive rounds. It's just
good hip firing.
I typically don't. It's not really designed for that.
I see.
But overall, it's just a beautiful performing gun. It's fun to use. It's just great.
Also, not often thought about, although I notice it, footprint on the screen, percentage of your view that it obstructs. That's also a benefit of these little guns. Is like it's not in the way. Like the Grathamol takes up the half the fucking screen.
The good point.
Yeah.
So that's PvE.
Okay, so what are they doing to it? Okay, oh no, sorry. Finish your next thought then.
But then
PvE.
PvP, what we're gonna start seeing is if anyone's been playing recently in the past couple months, they know that in PvP, there's only really a few things that affect how people play.
Yeah.
If you go against someone, they're going to be using a Thorn, a Hawkmoon, a Last Word. That's maybe a Red Death, maybe a Messenger here and there, but predominantly those are the ones you're going to see. Hand cannons have been ridiculously overpowered for a long time.
Okay.
And we'll get to the different exotic ones, but overall, the big beef with hand cannons is that they're not designed for long range, but they function that you can kill a guy from across the map with a hand cannon without any trouble.
They're little handheld sniper rifles.
Yeah,
basically.
and that's not what they're supposed to be.
I see.
So what they're doing is they're going to start damage fall off close to the player to limit long-range lethality.
Perfect.
People have been complaining forever. It's like, why did I just get Thorn from across the map? Isn't this thing supposed to drop off sooner?
Yeah.
It's just not working the way. It's making it so that there's only 3 distinct choices for PvP, and that's not how they want their game to work.
So instead of reducing the range, they just mean it won't be as powerful. It'll still hit you far away. It just won't do nearly as much.
Yeah, and that's really how you get the whole range things. Like if I'm doing like 60 damage to shot to you right now from range, maybe I'm doing 30 or 20 or even 10.
Yeah.
We won't know until we start, until we can play around with it, until we start seeing how the changes.
And but nevertheless, it influences the way people choose to use the weapon.
Yes.
Right. So what else?
Small reduction in ADS accuracy, targeted making long-range snap shooting less reliable. Same thing, mostly a PvP type thing. Just so if you catch someone in your vision going down and you aim really quickly, you're not going to be able to get the quick pop on them on their headshot and take them out instantly.
Reduce firing final accuracy.
Yeah, when firing from the hip. I think one particular exotic gun, the Last Word, is not going to suffer too much from that because it's designed to be fired from the hip.
Okay.
But other ones, typically, I think that's kind of a no-brainer that no one's really going to pay attention to that because you really don't shoot from the hip with pistols anyway.
I see.
Fast firing from the hip is less reliable. Who cares?
Okay.
Reduced magazine sizes for base inventory stats. That's the dagger in my heart.
Oh, why? Tell me, baby.
Because I love hand cannons. I've grown used to them.
Yeah.
And I'm always chagrined that it's like, okay, these magazine sizes are too small already. I wish they get bigger. Now they're getting smaller.
So it's going to make it much more frustrating. And yeah, the whole reloading thing. Okay, reduce base optics, whatever.
Yeah,
not a big deal. And what is this? Aiming down sight?
Yeah, grants more width in favor of depth.
Okay.
So you don't get as much range, but you get a bigger spread, I think.
So people go, God, my fucking width in favor of depth has been all monkeyed with. All right, notes.
Yeah, so this is bad for anyone who's a hand cannon enthusiast. Your range is going to go. You're not going to see Fatebringer in PvE a lot more. You're going to see other options start to emerge, and the playing field of PvP is completely resculpted. You're not going to see your Thorns, Hawkmoons, and Last Words anymore, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah, but it just means this is what's upsetting people mostly.
That's one of the big ones, because people have learned to adapt to this. People have practiced and gotten really good with these guns. They've learned how to, evade the drawbacks of them.
Okay.
And now everything's changing.
I see. So this is the big one. This is the real difference maker. This is the
color
to the black and white TV.
Right. That's one of the big ones. There's a couple other big ones too.
Okay. Shotguns.
This, if anyone remembers again from the beginning of the game in the vanilla Destiny, shotguns were a joke. No one used them because they didn't do jack. Then they fixed them, so they did too much jack.
A lot of jack.
They did a heck of a lot of jack.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too
You can do some jack cheese.
Yes.
I kept it bland.
Yes.
Like jack cheese.
So let's see. Shotgun perks that enable lethality at range should be less effective when combined with a high initial range stat. So reduce shot package accuracy at 30%.
Okay.
Who cares? Shot package accuracy. Accuracy is not something people really care about with shotguns because you are blasting someone in the face.
And you're so close to them.
Yeah, not too worried about that.
Okay.
Rangefinder adds 5% base range increase on aiming down sights. Was 20%. Looks like a pretty major nerf, but I question whether or not this is going to be bad because I don't know how many people actually use rangefinder on a shotgun.
Okay. All right.
Reduce precision damage multiplier on shotguns by 10%. That's a heavy blow to the PvE community.
I see.
There's a lot of people, myself included, who like to get up close on bosses and just empty a shotgun into them to deal damage.
Oh man, who wouldn't love to do that to their boss?
So so a 10% decrease is pretty major, but on the flip side, they're still going to be pretty viable. I'm still going to use mine. I think the community's still going to use theirs.
Hey man, 10%. That's going from an A+ to an A- or a B+. A 90%.
Yeah. I kind of jumped down to the bottom one. Reduce damage by 10%. That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
The one above it, reduce precision damage multiplied by 10%. No one's getting headshots or shooting for headshots with a shotgun too much. That's not a major thing. It's the bottom one, the overall damage on AI combatants in
All right,
PvE.
so take one more fucking shot. No big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Note, PvE nerf?
Right. PvE nerf because of the 10% decrease, but in PvP, I don't really see this as being anything that's going to affect things too much. You're still going to see people with Fellwarner's Lies sliding around getting one-shot kills. You're still going to see great range. Because in PvE, you don't really need accuracy. It's all about range. So I don't predict shotguns becoming less viable in PvP at all.
Okay. Moving on. Fusion rifles.
Everyone.
Let's hit it up. This is one of the most populars.
So you know that thing that you see no one use?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fusion rifle.
Yeah, it's called the treadmill of someone's house. No one uses it.
So, looking at this thing, you would think that because no one's using it, they're going to be doing some serious buffs to encourage people to start using it. So let's see these great buffs they're getting. So, slow charging, high impact fusion rifles have decreased range values.
Not as good.
So not only is it slow charging, sure it does high damage, but now it can't go as far.
More difficult to max out range for these weapons.
Yeah, speed for fusion rifles reduced, so you can dodge out of their range a little bit easier.
Okay.
Emphasizes the need to lead target outside medium range, so it makes it harder to hit something that's moving. Improved accuracy for short-range fusion rifles. All right, but if you're in short range, someone's just going to shotgun you down anyway.
Yeah, okay.
And reduce accuracy for long-range fusion rifles. Yay!
Wow. So what is this? Is this somebody at Bungie just has a boner for fusion rifles and insists on keeping it in? Is that what's going on? Come on.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to do any favors for
What's your notes?
fusion rifles. Fusion. What?
Who uses it? No one uses it. Fusion. What?
I mean, the only fusion rifle that I know of that people use is the Exotic Effects Mythoclast, but they haven't really said anything about that particular one, so I don't know how that's going to be affected. And
I hope we're not pissing off the Exotic Effects community.
And the Queen Breaker's bow.
Oh, Queen Breaker's bro. Jesus Christ. If I have to hear about that fucking gun one more time, I'm going to be sleep talking until the morning.
Yeah, so not a big deal.
Snipper rifles.
Yep.
Tell me, James.
People love their sniper rifles. I love my sniper rifle.
Of course. Classic.
The only thing that's really changing so much in sniper rifles is something that's going to either make Trials of Osiris players very angry or very happy. And the only ones that are going to get very angry are the ones who have been relying on this particular perk to get themselves to Mercury week after week.
Okay.
So, Final Round. You know what Final Round does?
No, baby.
All right. Final Round is something that basically allows you to get a one-shot body shot kill on someone in PvP, regardless of where you hit them.
Okay, gotcha.
So
yes.
Right.
Yes,
so say
yes.
you got a 3-round magazine and you've rolled Final Shot on one of your older weapons, because they actually removed the ability to get Final Shot on newer sniper rifles. So you got to have like an old Aphrodite spear or something like that from the Iron Banner event to get it.
Yeah.
So say you got your 3 rounds in your magazine. You fire 2 off into the air, leaving yourself with only 1 before you have to reload. Sounds stupid, but now you know that one shot that's left in your gun is guaranteed to trigger Final Round.
And it's big and powerful, just like the blue thing.
So before, if you want to, kill your opponent from across the map in Trials of Osiris, then rush over there in the heat of the moment and take out the other 2 guys while they wait to revive their buddy, you're going to have to go for a headshot. But no, if you got Final Round, their little pinky toe pops out from behind a corner, you zing that thing, he's down.
So people would take advantage of that cheat or glitch.
Absolutely.
And so they would work their way down to the one final bullet and then shoot you in the toe and you're fucked.
It was so bad that people doing Trials of Osiris would actually ID people as they get match made, see if people had final shot sniper rifles, and they would back out of the game to avoid having to fight them, which Bungie started banning people for doing.
Wow, geez.
But it's hard to blame them, because this is something like, if you don't have one of those old sniper rifles, well, I mean, if you didn't have one of the old sniper rifles, you didn't have the ability to re-roll it, you were locked out of being able to do this back to them.
Oh, okay.
And you knew they were just gonna annihilate you with this.
Yeah. So and by me saying it's in the game, I just mean they shouldn't be banned for doing something that's allowed. But it's good that they.
Well, no, I mean they're not being banned for using this. They're being banned for backing out of the game to dodge people.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I got you.
So if you're one of the people that were taking advantage of this and you had it and you were lucky enough to have it, you may not like this. Okay. But if you're one of the people who...
So what are they doing now? Now you have to hit him in the head.
Yeah, so this becomes... Sniper rifles with Final Shot becomes more of a PvE perk, where you get an extra damage for doing a precision shot with your last round.
Okay.
Because you're not gonna peg someone in the head 3 times in PvP, because the first one's most likely gonna kill them.
Yeah.
It's pointless in PvP now.
I see. Okay. Trials of Osiris Relief.
Yep. No
just
more
like what you described. Okay. I could probably click onto that screen a little sooner. Rocket launchers.
All right. So rocket launchers. Everyone.
Here we go. This is the Brock Lesnar of the weapons.
Yep.
The big bad scary giant motherfucker.
Yep.
Rocket launcher.
Slight increase to base blast radius. Can't complain there. That's pretty good. Grenades and horseshoes proximity detonation reduced. So I guess that means it blows up quicker when it's further away from its intended target.
Okay.
So not a big deal.
Gotcha.
Nothing too earth-shattering there.
Nothing too big?
Nope.
All right.
Exactly. Who cares? What do we care about?
The Garathimol.
Yes, the Gjallarhorn, or as people have loved to call it, the Gjallarhorn.
It's Gjallarhorn.
Or the Jellyhorn.
It's an animated GIF, not a GIF, because it's graphics something interface.
It actually is GIF.
It's GIF.
The guy who invented it says it's GIF.
But that guy's not a linguist. The word he's using is graphics. G stands for graphics. It's not giraffics. Okay, fucker! Alright, side note. We should make a whole video about that.
Yeah.
I don't care what the guy who's using it says.
Yeah.
The guy who invented democracy called it animated democracy.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we'll get to that.
Yes.
Right here.
Boom. Exotic weapons. This is the real meat. We're already 20 minutes in, but that's okay.
So they're tweaking specific exotic weapons.
Yeah, so this will be fun. Hardlight.
Hardlight is a gun that's famous for 2 things. It's famous for being an auto rifle that got nerfed and sucked even harder than it did initially.
Yeah.
And it's famous, actually 3 things. The other thing it's famous for being is a poor option compared to other guns at the time, because the stability was crap. You would fire that thing and it would just start shooting projectiles all over the place.
Okay.
The other thing that it would do is the Hardlight would shoot projectiles that were kind of bright on the screen, and they would bounce around when they hit different surfaces.
Interesting.
So when a couple people reported that when they were going to a very dark area of the game and start firing this gun at close range at walls, they would trigger seizures.
Oh boy.
So it's the seizure gun.
The seizure gun.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they want to bring this thing out of the unusable depths and make it something you'll actually see people using.
Yeah.
So it's increasing the base stability to 80 from 65. That's a great first step.
Okay.
It's going to get the benefit of all the auto rifle buffs, which is a great step.
Okay.
Increased balance count for Hardlight projectiles. That's a great thing too.
Okay.
And Hardlight projectiles are not affected by damage fall off. So this I'm not entirely sure about. It could be one of two things. It could mean that Hardlight projectiles, being the bullets, are not affected by damage fallout. That seems a little powerful to me, because that means the one limiting factor for auto rifles, being that they can't really be used effective at long range, is not present on this one.
Oh, okay.
That would mean that this is going to become a beast of a gun. This
All
is
right.
going to be people's go-to gun.
So you'll see a lot more of this guy. Is
if
it tough
that's what it means.
If that's what it means. What's the other one?
The other thing I'm thinking it might mean is that bounce projectiles. So that if you shoot something at a wall and it bounces off, at the point of ricochet, it's no longer, that bullet is no longer affected by damage fallout.
Damage fall. Okay, so we're not sure exactly
that would be
what
much
means.
less beneficial.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what just has to happen. Also, my note is that you're way smarter than I am. You really know your shit here. Okay, next one.
Necro Chasm.
Necro Chasm.
This has become, for the Dark Below, this was the joke weapon. Because what happened was...
Oh, to be clear, too, these aren't, like, current stat. I mean, these are just
they can all go to
get.
365 damage now.
All right.
As of the current moment in time.
Yeah.
So the Necro Chasm was a gun that was teased before the release of the Dark Below. Everyone freaked out. They're like, this is the gun I have to have. This is the gun I want. And it's notoriously one of the most difficult guns to get in the game, because you have to find a Husk of the Pit, which is the white drop gun from a Fist of the Hive.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
And then you got to upgrade it to the Eidolon Ally using a special core from Eris, and then you got to do hard mode Crota to find the Crux of Crota to upgrade the Legendary into the Exotic.
Jesus.
So
wow.
It's a really cool gun, though, because when you get headshots with it, it triggers Thrall explosions.
Yeah.
Which, if you know those little Thrall guys that they get near you, they start glowing and they explode and kill you instantly?
Yeah, little berserkers.
Yeah. So it basically triggers that kind of explosion whenever you get a headshot.
Yeah, plus it looks like a Borg's dick.
Right.
Yeah.
So the main problems with this gun is that as soon as they released it, as soon as people were able to get it, they nerfed auto rifles, and it's an auto rifle. And the magazine clip size was so small, you would fire the gun, you'd be out of ammo and have to constantly reload.
Okay.
And the explosion perk didn't trigger at all.
I see.
And the stability was garbage.
Okay.
So what are they going to do about this? How are they going to make the Necro Chasm relevant? So it's going to get the benefit of all the auto rifle boosts. The stability is going to go up, which is great. That's from 40 to 60 is pretty major.
Is that just the recoil? Is that all?
Oh, the stability is pretty much just how much your reticle moves as you shoot.
I see. So kind of recoil.
It's generally the same thing.
Yeah.
Increased magazine size. Thank you. Finally.
Always nice.
Cursebringer perk will always trigger on a precision kill. That's the Thrall explosion.
Okay.
Which it wasn't happening consistently before.
Okay.
There was a chance to trigger on a headshot. So now it's guaranteed to trigger on a precision kill.
Keyword is always.
Which is major.
Yeah.
And the Cursebringer explosion has increased radius. It deals more damage.
I see.
So this is kind of the Fatebringer of auto rifles now. Because Fatebringer had something called Firefly, which means when you shoot something in the head, it explodes and does damage to everything around it.
Sure.
Guaranteed 100% of the time. And now you got a gun that's very difficult to get, but it looks like it's worth the difficulty now.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what happens in this particular one.
Okay. Is this just the hardest gun to get in the game? Or one of?
It's hard to say that something's hard to get in the game because everything's based on random number generators. But this is the only one that has a distinct progression path where you know exactly what you need to do to find it.
Oh, I see.
And of those types of guns, I'd say this is the most difficult.
Because you got to jump through all those hoops.
Yeah,
and
even
do a
more.
bunch of stuff.
Like right now, I don't even have one. I have every exotic in the game. I don't have this one because freaking Crota and hard mode has yet to drop the Crux for me.
Okay.
It's a very rare drop.
Well, that's something we shall have to remedy, isn't it?
Yes.
Braveheart. Next one. The last word.
This is a hand cannon, so nerfity nerf.
Pow! Look at that bad boy.
This is a gun.
Nerfity nerf.
Yeah, so this is a gun where if you meet someone, this let's just be honest, it's a PvP gun.
Okay.
So if you get up close to someone and they're using this and you're using anything else, you're probably going to lose.
Okay.
This is the one that has the crazy hip fire accuracy.
I see.
And it's really cool because the animation is like a gunslinger thing. You twirl it around and you kind of shoot like an old style gunslinger.
Yeah.
What do you call it when you hold the gun? You're like... What's that called?
When you slap slap this thing here and you kind of I don't know what that's called. That's called
hip firing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's generally in a nutshell what this gun is.
I see. Okay, so
what are they doing to it? Reduce range stat. So it was already a close range weapon. Now you pretty much have to be touching noses with someone else to hit them with it.
This is a put it in their mouth gun.
Yeah, this is a suicide gun.
Yeah.
And the stability, so they're making it, reducing the range, reducing the stability, which was already low to begin with.
Yeah.
Reduce the range when you're aiming down the sights. So it wasn't designed to be an aimed as ADS gun to begin with. It was designed to be a hip fire gun, but it's even less effective. You're not going to be killing people across the map with this anymore.
Worse. Okay.
But it's basically saying, okay, now you can. They're buffing it for the way it was intended to be.
Yeah.
So now it's better at hip firing.
What's this get 3 coffins ready? That was in the article that we just copied and pasted stuff straight from the Bungie newsletter update or whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking
this is a link to something.
That might be the name of the perk on the gun itself.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
It was like a hyperlink, so it's something in there. Whatever, who cares? Okay, fixed bugs with hip fire damage bonus applying incorrectly.
Yeah,
so small thing.
Yeah.
So
this gun is getting gutted.
Okay, so you won't be seeing much of this anymore.
Probably not.
Not very incentivized to
use it. This is one of the things that makes people really upset. Thorn. This is
by the way,
second of the third.
Billy Bob Thornton's favorite gun.
This is where people are either celebrating or crying foul.
And you have this one.
Yes.
And when I played PvP with your character, which anybody wants to watch some clips of that, we'll have videos in the description. This was one of the guns we used, right?
Thorn is pretty much the king of PvP for a couple of reasons. One, it over-penetrates targets.
I like the sound of that.
2, it does damage over time and triggers an effect where people tick damage down in like integrals of 7. And when they run away, you can see the damage peeling off of them, so you know if they're hiding behind a crate or something.
Oh, wow.
And 3, it prevents their shields from recharging while the DOT is active.
DOT is
damage over time.
Damage over time. Okay.
So if you get like a solid headshot or like 2 body shots with this thing or 2 headshots, you're gonna win. There's so many times where I've pegged a guy like 2 or 3 times with it as they just jump by me really quickly, and I can just sit back and put my feet up and say, yeah, he's not going to survive
just watch him die from attrition.
Yeah, because there's nothing he can do
and
about it.
You can see the number indicator through the wall. Yeah,
right.
Which is kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like watching the ghost slowly.
Yeah, and you could hit people from across the map with this thing. So it's incredibly satisfying to kill people with it, but it's also incredibly frustrating to be killed by it.
Oh, I bet. But everybody uses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got a gun. What is this called? A magazine. It looks like a jet engine, which is pretty cool. So
they're gonna reduce the base damage of the Mark of the Devourer, which is the damage over time, to roughly 1/3 of what it was in PvP and PvE.
Huge. So is that just the number will go down from 7 to 2?
Yeah.
Or
right
whatever,
now,
2.5,
right now it's at 7.
Yeah.
And when you hit someone twice in rapid succession and they run away, that's just enough damage with 7 ticks going on to basically guarantee that they're not going to survive. Or if they do survive, they're going to have a sliver of health.
Yeah.
When you take it down to 1/3, you're talking like what, 2.5 ticks from 7?
Yeah.
That's going to completely gut the gun.
Okay.
But they're trying to allow for some concessions by allowing the damage per time to stack up to 5 times.
Yeah.
Which means that your 2 to 2.5 can stack up to 5 times, which means that it can get up to like 10 DPS per second or 10 DOT per second instead of 7. But the reality of PvP is that you're not going to be hitting a guy 5 times with it. If you hit him 5 times anyway, the base damage of the hit's going to kill him anyway.
I see.
So that's mainly saying, okay, for PvE, this is what we're going to do to help you out. You can get the DOT to get higher, but no one really uses the Thorn in PvE at all.
Right.
So overall, this is a weak PvE incentive and a massive PvP nerf.
Okay. Weak PvP, okay. All right. Whatever you just said, I believe it. Here we go.
Hawkmoon.
Nice.
This is the gun that everyone...
Little feather.
Yeah.
That's the hawk part.
As of September, this is going to be available on Xbox.
Okay.
People on PS4 have been enjoying this gun for the past year, though. It's a PlayStation exclusive exotic. It's
take that, Xboxers.
It's incredibly powerful because it's got a 13-round magazine and it can have up to 3 luck in the chamber bullets, which means that 3 random bullets in your 13-chamber magazine is going to deal considerable bonus damage, which means that if you hit someone with a headshot and it happens to trigger as being one of those 3 bullets, that's an instant kill.
Instant kill.
That's the major draw of this gun, is that you can get lucky and kill someone one shot with
it. You got a 3 out of 13th chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It's a very solid, very, very good gun. And it looks cool.
It does look cool. There's no moon on it. It's only got feathers. I wish it was a moon.
Yeah.
Changes.
Alright, so add a stack limit to luck in the chamber and holding aces. Only 2 of the bonus perks will ever stack on 1 round. Yow.
Tell me what that means, buddy.
That means you can't get 3 lucky shots in a row anymore.
Oh, I see. At all. I don't know what I mean. I'm too dumb to understand this stuff.
Yeah, basically it's what it says. You're not going to be one-shotting people as much or at all with Hawk Moon anymore. So the major lure for people using it has been taken away.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because that's a perk. Oh, I see. It's a perk, so those perks won't stack.
Yeah, and then there's basically saying we're going to add more rounds to the magazine, which sounds great. But then it's like, okay, wait a minute. If there's more rounds in the magazine, that's less chance for one of my, my lucky rounds to proc.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You'd
rather have a shorter magazine.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine like a 3-round magazine? Every single, it'd be like 3 final rounds.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah,
and luck in the chamber damage bonus is reduced by 3%. So even when you hit one of those lucky shots, it's not going to do as much damage as it does before. And 3% doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking PvP, every fraction of every damage matters, because the difference between 1 point of damage is life and death, and if you don't take out that guy, he's got a chance to retaliate, so you could be the one in the dirt instead of him.
That's the rule of the streets, buddy.
Yep.
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker, the gun everyone loved from the beginning. So what are they doing?
It looks like a bush trimmer.
Yes, it does. So, do you remember anything about the Icebreaker and why it's so great?
I vaguely remember a year ago or whatever.
Before we said we're going to make a video on it, we never did.
Yeah, right when we made the Soros regime video.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't a year, it was less than a year ago, but yeah.
Yeah, so the major lure to this gun is that it regenerates ammo over time. It's a sniper rifle, it's an exotic, a secondary.
Not bad.
And it can hold a magazine of 6 bullets at a time. Okay. So if you run out of ammo, every 5 seconds it regenerates a new bullet. And the other hidden perk of it is that, say you want to shoot your shotgun, but you're out of shotgun ammo. No problem. Equip your Icebreaker, let it regen to a full magazine of 6, then switch to your other secondary weapon, a shotgun in this case, or a fusion rifle, or a sidearm, and you've got a little chunk of ammo.
So it regens even when you don't have it equipped, is what you're saying?
Well, no. It regens when it's equipped, but once it's regened ammo for itself, if you switch to a different secondary, you'll have ammo for that secondary as well. It'll convert the ammo from the Icebreaker into your other secondary gun.
Wow.
It won't give you a full clip, but it'll give you enough to work with.
Sure. Which is better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And this, we'll go ahead.
Yeah.
This gun was not broken.
Okay.
This gun was fine as it was. This is my beef. I have a beef with this.
Okay,
they're changing it to reload from one round every 5 seconds to 1 round every 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Why?
They're just making it so the recharge takes longer. They're taking away the powerful thing and making it not as frequent.
But no one was using this to exploit anything considerably. No one was, so basically it's now going to take longer to accomplish things that you could do before.
So you're saying you're annoyed because they're taking a gun that wasn't being misused
overpowered.
Or
No, there's no
and
reason
they're just making it harder to use for those who did like to use it.
Yeah,
Did you use it a lot?
Yeah, I used a heck of a lot.
And were you alone in using it a lot?
No, it was used a lot across the community, but it was used a lot, most predominantly in the past couple months. It's not something that most people have in their general loadout now. So my question is, why now? Why do this?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Maybe do other guns regenerate ammo?
No. Well, the Invective does as a shotgun.
The Invective.
And it takes a lot longer. It's like 30 seconds for 4 rounds or something.
Okay.
I don't know. This just seemed like an unnecessary change.
Yeah, I could see how they might have said, well, it's a pretty rare perk. It's only 2 guns or whatever, but and let's just make it harder to get those extra bullets because it doesn't seem fair that a gun can generate its own bullets or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it just uses ice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's bullets made out of ice. That's how it absorbs condensation from the air, creates a bullet, and now it's going to take 8 seconds.
You ever hear that urban legend where it's like, can you assassinate a person with an ice bullet so
the
bullet melts?
Yeah, and then the bullet melts.
Apparently you can't.
Apparently you got to use melted
Mythbusters tested it. You
lead.
can't do it.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
No Land Beyond. You know anything about this guy?
It's a dinosaur cartoon, right?
Yeah, The Land Before Time.
The Land Before Time, thank you.
This is the biggest joke of a exotic ever.
Okay,
it's
why?
Basically your World War II bolt-action rifle that has an awful aim-down sights, awful magazine size, horrible accuracy shooting, and a painfully slow reload.
It looks like a musket. Which could be cool aesthetically, but if it also behaves like a musket, now it's a problem.
So people only use this for a couple of reasons. They use it the first reason is to kill, because when you die in PvP to a gun, it tells you what gun you died to. So people have been getting really good at this gun and using it to kill people to add extra insult to injury that people have been killed by it as a joke. It's like, I beat you, and not only did I beat you with this piece of garbage.
Yeah, winning a knife fight with a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other reason is that because it has such a low ammo capacity and a low magazine, people have been using it to do the heavy ammo glitch.
Okay.
Which, if you don't know what that is, basically it's a way to make heavy ammo rain down from the heavens whenever you need it.
Gotcha. Always a good thing.
And the other reason is just to be a nonconformist, just to be different, just to say, hey, this gun isn't so bad, I'm great at it.
That's not the worst reason.
I mean, you can get good at anything. Yeah. You can get good at eating food with chopsticks. Doesn't mean you should.
Hey, fuck you. I love eating food with chopsticks, all right? Cereal tastes better when it's eaten with sticks. Forks. Fuck you. I disagree, bitch.
How dare you. Alright, so they're going to increase the weapon handling speed. Good. Adjust sights to fix overlap parallax issue when aimed. Good.
Gotcha.
Increase time of decay for the master to 8 seconds. Good. The master is basically when you get a precision hit, your next precision hit deals more damage.
Okay.
So it won't go, it'll last longer. Decay time means it'll stick around for like at least 8 seconds.
Gotcha.
And additional 8% precision damage bonus when the master is active.
Okay.
All good, because there's no way you could have nerfed this thing anymore. This thing sucks.
It was essentially a nerf gun.
Yeah,
itself.
It is the most.
So they're trying to make people incentivize people to use it.
They're trying to.
Do you think people will use it more?
Maybe. I mean, I'm looking forward to testing it out to see if it's worth using.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's going to be a big experiment. Yeah. Everybody's going to be figuring out the new exploits too. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. What's next? Black Hammer.
Black Hammer. This is another one of the major hot button topics.
Okay, very cool looking.
The Black Hammer
looks like a wolf that's spitting out a smaller wolf.
So this is something you can get from the normal Crota raid. It's a legendary raid weapon, and it has one major perk that makes it great, and that is called White Nail. And what White Nail does is that your magazine is only 3 rounds, but when you land a precision hit 3 times in a row, it automatically refills your magazine to 3, which means that you're not stopping to reload. You're doing consistent bam, 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 bam damage to something. I see. So if your target has a big crit spot, like a tank's leg, or the Archon Priest's head, or Taniks's head, and you can...
Paladine's belly.
Yes. Yep. If you can consistently crit that spot over and over and over, or Atheon's midsection during the Vault of Glass, this gun is a powerhouse.
Okay.
You're not going to run out of ammo, and you're going to be dealing massive damage in rapid succession.
Okay. So the white nail is a pretty badass
White nail
thing
makes
to
this
have
gun
if you
great.
really know how to use the gun. All right, but
now they're going to say you can hold more rounds for it, but when you land 3 precision hits, it's not going to magically pull 3 more rounds for you out of the ether and put them into your gun. Now it's pulling from your inventory.
That seems like a pretty fair compromise. Right. I don't think that's a problem.
But the thing is, people have been relying on being able to switch to this gun after using a shotgun for an extended period of time and having minimal ammo left, but being able to treat that minimal ammo as infinite ammo.
Yeah, exactly. Why should you get infinite ammo? You should have ammo that's on isn't it a perk enough not to have to do? Isn't the big cost of reloading the time it takes to put your gun down and reload and the disruption? You're vulnerable. So you still get the perk of not having that. You just have to use the ammo you're carrying. I think this is perfectly fucking fine.
The counter argument though is, why do it now? We've had it for so long. It was never a problem. It was never being overly exploited.
Well, that's a good point.
All this means is that it's going to take longer to take down certain targets now, and how does that make the game more enjoyable?
Yeah, but the whole point of the game is to have a balanced fight, and I don't know. I see what you mean, though. I got your point. I just don't see this as something that I would be too upset about. To be fair, I'm ignorant, stupid, and have mental difficulty thinking.
I feel like if you played the game and you had a Black Hammer and you used it for more than a week, you would be smashing things. Right now.
I would understand if that was your style, if you understood what you're doing there. Look, I got the dot right in the C. But I would totally be like, yeah, okay, all right. It's taking away magic bullets that are appearing out of nowhere. But the whole thing is magic. All right. So, all right, interesting points.
All right.
Well said. I think the judge would probably side with you because you're more of an expert witness than I am. Lord of Wolves.
Wolves. This is one of the newer exotics gotten through an Elder Cipher in the level 34
for the shit picture,
or
everybody.
35 Prison of Elders.
Yeah.
So I just recently got this a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't need any changes aside from its major perk.
Okay.
It's a beast of a shotgun. It's a lot of fun to use, but it has one buff on it, which is one of the only guns in the game that I can think of at least, that when you get a kill with it, it gives your allies around you a buff. For you, it's called the Lord of Wolves. For them, it shows up as a recovery boost.
Okay.
Which basically means that they regain their health and their shields faster.
Nice. That's neat.
The bad part is that I think the range of what it procs is really small,
right,
and the effect is pretty small.
And you're not normally that close to people.
No, not really.
So
we try and spread out.
Yeah, so it doesn't work.
So
that
the
much.
benefit wasn't great. So now they're going to triple the recovery boost. So I'm interested to test that out to see if it becomes more.
So for those who
benefit.
are within that range, it's going to have a pretty substantial impact in that moment.
Yeah.
Incentivizing maybe you stay close to each other, back to back fighting, just like Forrest Gump and his buddy, the black guy.
And I've tested this out with a friend in the game where I have them back away from me to say, do you still see recovery perk? I'm like, no, it disappeared. They take a step closer. Yeah, it reappeared. So we can know the range is pretty bad. And we test it to see, like, are you noticing a significant recovery boost? And like, I'm seeing recovery boost, but I don't really notice much of a change.
So you can step in and out of it. So it's a passive effect.
I haven't done it personally, but that's what the person I was testing it with claimed was happening. Okay. And if they're lying to me, I will kill them.
We will ADSTTK him, DOT. Garathama! This is the biggie.
Yeah, okay.
This is the Christmas of holidays of guns.
This
it's
is
the best one.
Yes, this is the most highly coveted, sought after exotic item in the game.
Gorgeous gun, beautiful inlays.
Yes.
What does it do?
It is the most ridiculously overpowered item in the game, and it has been since day one of the game.
Okay.
It's got something called Wolfpack rounds. Basically, you fire this thing at a target. It explodes before detonation, before it hits the target, and releases these other mini rockets, which not only damage the target, but track as well.
Okay.
These are your Wolfpack rounds, and they deal massive damage.
So it's almost impossible to miss with it.
The difference in damage between this and the next most powerful rocket launcher is absurd. This thing is a tactical nuke on your shoulder. This thing is something that people have... The game has gotten to a point where the strategy for certain boss encounters has gone from actual strategy to keep calm and Gjallarhorn.
Right.
It's like, so what do? We Gjallarhorn. It's like, oh, we're at Skolas. What do? Gjallarhorn.
Haven't you run into situations where people reject you or don't even play unless you have a Gjallarhorn to bring you to the fight?
Yes, that has happened too.
Yeah.
So it's like, Archon Priest, Gjallarhorn. The babysitter died, Gjallarhorn.
Right.
It's the answer to everything.
So it explodes before it gets to the target, or it hits the target and then...
It's got proximity detonation.
Okay.
Which is why Weapons of Light doesn't work well with it, but that's a whole other story.
Okay, we can make another video about that one. All right.
So what are they doing to this? They do not want this to be the be-all, end-all strategy anymore. Mm-hmm. So they're reducing damage of Wolfpack rounds. And can you read my mind and tell me why that sentence worries me?
Because they are going to reduce it too much and it won't have anywhere near the impact?
Because they have not given a percentage.
Yeah.
Which usually means that the actual amount they're going to reduce it by is too ugly to show in a percentage.
Oh, this is the not showing movie reviewers the movie before.
Yeah,
knowing
this is damage
enrage.
protection before it actually hits. So
Yeah.
if they were to say reduces by 60%, people would be, whoa!
Yeah.
So we don't know how bad it's going to be, but the
let's
fact that
just
they're
do a
not
thought-
showing it.
Let's do a thought experiment. Let's say they did reduce it by 60%. It's still going to be way more powerful than the next closest grenade launcher or next closest rocket launcher. Yes or no?
Maybe not. Maybe it'll be more on par.
Okay.
And
so the initial explosion's less, but it's that secondary blast that's...
Well, no, the initial explosion I think will be the same, but it's the Wolfpack rounds that are going to be diminished.
Right, I understand, yeah.
So I'm not going to say exactly...
less than other rocket launchers.
I'm not going to say how I feel about this right now because we're going to kind of get to that a little bit later. Which I know this video is already like...
This is already 45 minutes.
My voice is already falling.
That's okay, you're doing great, man. You're doing most of the talking, and I'm trying to stay out of your way because there's a lot of information here.
Yeah, we're trying to get through the end of this, but...
Thoughts?
I have one. It took me forever to get one. I was ecstatic when I got one. Mm-hmm. But I'm in favor of this.
Oh, controversy, huh? You're a rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on, or do you want to talk more about this?
Let's go on.
Okay. What do we got next? Oh yeah, this is all. I see. We didn't really read through all this stuff. This is
Well,
all stuff that we cut from the Bungie announcement.
Okay, so we'll gloss over this a little bit.
Yeah,
so basically, what they're doing is they're taking. Initially, you had these your base gun, and your first perks would be like, this will increase your stability massively. This will increase your reload speed massively. But there wasn't an offsetting con to that. Like, this particular one will give you huge stability, but at no cost to any other stat. They're changing that so that you don't have the perfect gun anymore. If you want a gun with huge stability, maybe you got to sacrifice reload speed.
Gotcha.
If you want one with fast reload speed, maybe you got to sacrifice a little bit of impact. Different things like that. And originally they had, I think it was 2 stats that they had that were hard-coded together. So they couldn't decrease one while buffing the other.
Yeah.
But I think they've gone through and they've redone the codes so that these 2 stats are now separated so they can individually tweak them. So you can have more variety of what happens when you fine-tune your gun.
Okay.
So that's basically what they're talking about there.
Okay.
Is that they want guns to be more versatile. They don't want one gun to rule them all. They don't want you to say, this is my Fatebringer, this is my go-to gun, I use it for everything. They want you to say, oh, this guy's far away, maybe I should switch to my scout rifle. Oh, this guy is, is medium range, perhaps I want to bring my auto rifle out.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the things...
Yeah, this is what we just kind of talked about, reducing base weapon stats. So we kind of already touched on that.
Want me to keep moving?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Stat perk tuning pass, same stuff?
Yeah, kind of more of the same.
Okay. All right.
If you want to read it, you guys can pause the video.
Yeah, pause the video and read it
if you're still awake by this point.
Thanks for watching this entire video, by the way. Stat perk column on talent grids.
Yeah, nothing much more to say about that.
Okay.
I mean, they can read it right there.
So this is sort of just like wrap up stuff at the end. Anything here that stands out that needs to be mentioned?
Yeah, not really. They're saying that
hey,
they're basically
they
saying,
might even be the random guardian in your pickup fire team.
They're basically saying that please don't shoot us right now. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
We've tested these. We're pretty happy with how they are.
Yeah.
We're players just like you are. We're not trying to ruin the game. We're trying to improve the game.
Yes. Okay. So.
All right. So
is Bungie doing the right thing? Are players right to be upset?
Okay. So the short. Yes, no.
Yes to the first question.
Yes.
No to the second question. I feel like you should expand on those answers, James.
Okay, I think they're doing the right thing because they're bringing out, right now in PvE, there's only like a handful of loadouts that you're going to see. That should never be the case. There should never be a Fatebringer, a Black Hammer, and a Gjallarhorn, or a Fatebringer, a Final Verdict, Found Verdict, and a Gjallarhorn. You should never have a game where you're restricted to a very limited set of primary weapons that work in every situation.
Sure.
Because that means you don't have balance, and if you don't have balance, you have a whole lot of untapped potential for other weapons.
Okay.
So they are doing the right thing.
Okay. They're trying to introduce balance and a tuning to all the weapons.
Right. And another thing that they're doing is that they're basically paving the way for the Taken King DLC, because right now the major problem with the House of Wolves DLC is that no one was really excited about any of the guns that were dropping. I didn't use a single Queen's weapon. I didn't keep them. I dismantled them all because I'm looking at them and I'm saying, these aren't even as good as what I already have.
Right.
Why would I go to these?
Yeah.
So they're basically leveling the playing field by changing what we already have to make anything new that they add more palatable.
I see. And there will be new weapons in the Taken King.
And I think the biggest criticism of House of Wolves was that we didn't really get any new weapons because we didn't want them. They weren't up to par with what we already had.
Gotcha.
So now this gives Bungie the opportunity to introduce new weapons that are really going to get us interested in having expanding our arsenal. If they ever give us more vault
So they're building a groundwork for future stuff, and they might be adding some balance to the thing.
Right. And are players right to be upset?
You said no, but I know there's more. It's more nuanced than that.
I think this is a simple one. No is not to be upset because the player base has been complaining since day one about these things. They're saying Thorn is overpowered, nerf it. Gjallarhorn is overpowered, nerf it. I'm getting killed across the map by hand cannons, nerf it. They've been rallying and crying for nerfs. Now they're finally getting them, and now they're freaking out.
Well, okay, but are they freaking out? I don't pay attention to the community. You will. This is news too. So.
I would say that there's a kind of a dichotomy in the community. There's half the people are freaking out, the other half of people are sitting back and saying, well, buddy, how about we wait for the changes to come in and get used to them?
Yeah.
Or how about we take this as a good thing because we're going to get new balance? Or how about we look at it this way? Everything we know about Destiny and the gunplay right now is going to change. It gives us a whole new scope of play to learn, new combos to deal with.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It'll reinvigorate areas that might have gotten a little bit stale.
Yeah.
And you know, I
so
think it's...
for people who don't want to go out and earn stuff again and relearn stuff, it's a devastating blow. For people who want fresh content, new learning experiences, new combinations, it's great. The only downside being that if you want us to, you know, get new guns and get new arsenals, you're going to have to give us more vault space. Whole completely different topic.
Yeah.
But come on, Bungie.
If you're listening, Bungie, more vault space, okay, you motherfuckers?
Yeah. I'm actually getting dizzy from talking right now.
All right, one final question for you. What change would you make that's not made in this gun thing? What's something that you wish they would do that...
I wish they would have addressed more exotics. I wish they would have talked about the Vex Mythoclast, because a lot of people love that gun, and they're afraid something else is going to happen that's going to make it fall off of use.
Okay.
And I wish that they had addressed the Golden Gun, which is the Gunslinger Hunter's super. Okay. What happened in the last update was they nerfed the range of hand cannons, but not enough to make it, you know, too problematic.
Right.
The problem is that the super that a hunter activates, when he activates it, a golden flaming gun, which happens to be a hand cannon, appears in his hand, and you can fire like one-shot kills across the map.
Oh, wow.
The problem is that technically the game considered that to be a hand cannon, so all the debuffs to hand cannons in general also applied to the golden gun, which made the super less effective, which they tried to counteract with the Celestial Nighthawk. But I'm concerned that the major nerfs to hand cannons are going to further diminish the usefulness of that. So I would have appreciated them to touch on that, to say we've separated the golden gun into its own category, and it's not going to be nerfed by the hand cannon nerfs.
I see what you're saying.
They haven't commented on that yet, though.
But they might or they might not. But
it's speculation.
Yeah.
The fact that they haven't commented on it leads me to not know what to believe.
Okay. So there you go, everybody. Is it obvious and clear enough for you now that James has played a Destiny a couple of times?
I'm literally gonna pass out.
All right, man. Don't do it in my room. It'll just, I'll be stressed about that for a little while. Okay, so everybody, thanks for finding the video. I hope you learned something. It's very long, but we had a lot to talk about. There's a lot of new details here. I hope some of this was helpful. And thank you for finding the channel. Like and subscribe if you want to watch some of our other Destiny videos or check out some of the other playthroughs. This is kind of a comedy gaming channel, meaning we don't take it too seriously. We just like to have fun and talk and enjoy games. So hopefully you're one of those people. And if you are, you're one of us. And we'd love to have you subscribing, liking, and watching our videos. James, anything else?
I need a Coke.
The liquid.
Yes.
Not the powder.
Both.
Yeah.
I like to mix it.
Well, it used to be the same thing. Yeah. Okay, that was a weird way to end. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Good night, James. Thank you. Good job, buddy.
Good night.
You nailed it.
White nail.
You're my fate bringer, motherfucker.
Well done.